Hello there guys, Raj here. Long time no see. Well, I'm behind the camera, but you haven't seen a video from me in a long time, I guess. And I wanted to post up a video showing you some of the cigars that I've picked up over the past few months. My humidor was very empty, and that's never a good thing. So I've stocked up, and the boxes you see in front of you aren't the actual boxes that I've purchased. I've just bought a bunch of single sticks and put them in these boxes, which then I'll go into my humidor. So let's kick things off on the top. I placed an order with the website cigars.co.uk, and I did buy 3 Arturo Fuentes. One of them that is not here, which I've smoked recently, was the Don Carlos Bellicoso. So here I've got from the Añejo line. It says on the front, Reserva Extra Viejo. I believe this is called the 888, so it should be interesting. I did a video, I think it might have been my last one that I did, or the one before this, where I bought a bunch of Fuente cigars and was just really looking to get into the brand a lot more. Really enjoying exploring this house, and definitely willing to pick up a box once I've maybe explored a few more. Also, what I've got here is the Don Carlos Eye of the Shark. Now, I believe this was Cigar Aficionados #1 cigar in 2015 or 16, I can't remember. Eye of the Shark, quite a pronounced box press on this. Very interesting shape. I do like it. It's going to be interesting, this one. The Don Carlos range is really nice. As I said, I bought the Bellicoso. Actually, I bought the number 3, which I had smoked before, but they didn't have it in stock, so they put they gave me as a replacement the Bellicoso. Really enjoyed that. The number 3, as I just said, is a great smoke. Potentially, for me, I could see myself picking up a box of the Don Carlos number 3s. Okay, I then bought 4 of these cigars. One is missing because I smoked it. And this is, I've had one before I made this most recent purchase, which kind of made me want to buy a few more. This is, again, Cigars, what they've done, or specifically maybe I could say Mitchell Auchent, who is the owner of the company. He's done a collaboration with Davidoff and created this really excellent Lancero. As you can see, thin cigar, but it's got some length to it. And not quite a rounded foot, actually. Maybe it got squashed. I'm not sure. But yeah, great draw, great construction, great burn, flavors, lots of flavors there, keeping you interesting from start to finish. And I actually purchased these cigars. They had a third band on them, which were actually slightly cheaper than the normal ones, I could say. They were like wedding bed. If you have a wedding, they put a band on it. They were just slightly cheaper, but I took those bands off. So let's get into a few more cigars that I purchased when I was in Brussels. So I went to Brussels with a friend and had a great time in the Davidoff shop, had a great time in the La Casa del Habano shop there, and they have a couple of stores. One of them has I think both of them have a lounge, and yeah, so let's have a look at what we got in here. So as I said, this isn't the box, this is my own box, which I just transferred these cigars into and then put them in my humidor. So I had a couple of these. Again, I had one, and this is actually turning into probably one of my favorite cigars. These are Cuban cigars now, so Partagas, the Maduro #1. And what I noticed here, they also have the price in euros, 13 euros 20, quite reasonable. This is such a good smoke. I've probably had 4 of these now. Again, like the Fuente number 3, I said, up there on my to buy list to get a box, or certainly a few more. Chunky cigar, but nothing too overwhelming. The Maduro wrapper, as you can see here, that's what Maduro relates to. Adds a nice complexity to the cigar. There's a lot of fullness and leaves a real oil slick on the palate, or on the lips. Excellent. So in the La Casa del Habano, what they also have had is their own aged stock. Now this box that you can see is a Petit Mundo, and actually what I did end up buying was some aged Petit Mundos. I think I got about 5 or maybe I bought 4 and I had one while I was in Brussels. The Petit Edmundo is one of my favorite cigars. Packs a lot of flavor into a short smoke, but a smoke that lasts a good amount of time. So as you can see here, aged from 2010, and I really noticed the difference actually when I smoked it. It was quite herbal and left quite a sort of sweet, woody flavor, or had sweet, woody flavors on it. And it was actually very interesting. It was cool to see how much this cigar had developed. So you're looking at around 8-9 years of age on that. So I got about 3 or 3 there, or 3 left. Oh, this one, which I actually also bought when I bought the those cigars. This isn't going to be an interesting one. This is a Partagas Lusitania. See if I can get it in the shot. It's a big old cigar. Some green spots there. It can happen. This is actually from 1997. And you know what? I was thinking about it, and I don't think I've ever had a Partagas Lusitania, which is crazy because Partagas is actually my favorite cigar brand. So how I've never ended up, how I've never smoked one of their most popular cigars, I'm not sure. But it's feeling good. I'm feeling a nice sort of moistness on the wrapper. This is going to be interesting. I've got a few friends coming down to London next week. Some of my uni friends. We're going to go out, so I'll probably smoke that when I'm with them. Okay, so going on to the next box. And what have we got here? Let's start. Okay, so I bought a couple of these. I've got one left. Magnum 46, €12.30 from the brand H. Upmann. A good smoke. I like Upmann. Sometimes you just want something sweet and creamy and on the sort of medium side. Nothing too full on. It's quite a reliable smoke. I actually really like this size, 46 ring gauge. I think this is a Corona Gorda. I'm not 100% sure, but this is probably one of my favorite sizes. And as you can see, I've got a couple more in the same size from Cohiba. This is the Siglo 4. Cohiba, I have always enjoyed Cohiba. When they're aged though, I think they need to be left for a little bit of time to really appreciate their full flavors. And a little bit more expensive here, as always, Cohiba with the, it's the flagship brand of Habanos. They have the extra fermentation period, and they add on a little bit more for desirability, I guess. Whenever I've spoken to people who are not really knowledgeable about cigars or don't have much experience, Cohiba's a brand that they seem to know about. Okay, so going on to a couple here, and this is an absolute beauty. From El Rey del Mundo, this is the Choix Supreme. Great value, great Robusto, maybe a little bit under the radar, or, well, I don't know, maybe it doesn't seem to be, this brand as a whole doesn't always seem to get the love as maybe other brands, and maybe that's something to do with the fact that they don't have many in their portfolio. One cigar that I had when I was out in Brussels was the regional edition, and if you check me out on Instagram, you can see a picture of one of the cigars I smoked there. Very chunky stick, very flavoursome, really enjoyable. Okay, so going on to the final few. So this is by the way, an old Partagas 898 box. My dad actually gave this box to me. This box is probably maybe 30 years old, maybe 25 to 30 years old. And actually I do need to get some 898s. So let's see what we have in here. Right, so if you guys know about Cuban cigars, you'll know that they come out with 3 limited editions. And this one, and I've had a couple which I purchased from the UK, and I tried to get a box while I was out in Brussels, but there were no boxes, just singles. So I picked up 4, I also gave some to my dad. This is the Soberanos 1850. The size is called a Duke, I believe it's 55 ring gauge, and this is an amazing cigar. It has so much potential, full-bodied, well I would say medium to full-bodied, leaning towards fuller side of things. This is just like one of those limited editions that I think is just going to be, or already is being highly coveted. It's difficult to. I was surprised. It was difficult to pick up. What am I trying to say? There wasn't enough stock out in Brussels. You know, there were no boxes in the La Casa. There were some singles in Davidoff, but no boxes. And I actually wiped out all of Davidoff's stock. I think I bought 8, gave 4 to my dad. And yeah, I'm going to keep these for a while actually. I want to get a box, but let's see. And going on to the final cigar here from Montecristo. This is part of their Linea 1935 range. They've got 3 cigars in this range. This one is the Dumas, which is the smaller size. There's also the Maltese and the Leyenda. And as you can see, triple banded. Well, quadruple banded, because they've added the price tag. So it's a little bit too much, to be honest. But this is a really, really nice cigar. Montecristo seemed to have put this one out with the aim of producing a more fuller bodied, maybe a more luxury smoke. I think they're really worth it. I think maybe the Dumas and this Soberanos are 2 cigars, certainly from Cuba, that I'd like to invest in a little bit more and get a few more. Alright guys, so let me know, have you been to Brussels and the 2 stores I mentioned? What cigars have you been buying recently or smoking recently? And check me out on Instagram. I do posts about cigars, but I also do about fragrances, because I also have a fragrance channel and some other random stuff in there as well. Take care. Thanks for watching. Bye.